Welcome to the North Shore Performance Podcast, where we take a deep dive into health and fitness for everyday people and the athlete in all of us. I am your host, Jake Wirtz, and with me is my best friend and co-host, Tanner Schenkel. Together, we take an honest look at fitness and discuss how anybody can improve their lives by adopting a healthy lifestyle. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the North Shore Performance Podcast, guys. Today, we are going to be doing something a little different. We are going to be doing a little bit of drafting.
Yeah, so for all you fantasy sports nerds out there, just people in general that like drafts, I know there's a couple of guys on YouTube and TikTok that do random drafts. They're pretty entertaining. This is going to be unique. We're doing our favorite chest workouts, but we got to make a workout plan that's actually something we would do. And obviously we're going to have my co-host here. He's going to be sniping me or attempting to so he can build his own workout plan, and we'll have you guys let us know who you guys like the best at the end.
So essentially what we're going to be doing, we're going to start a new series. So we're going to talk about our favorite exercises for each muscle group. And instead of just sitting there and listing just several exercises one after another, kind of like that, we're going to try to make it a little bit more entertaining. We're going to be doing some drafting, like Tanner said. So essentially, we're each going to pick 5 of our favorite movements. They will be different movements because we're drafting them from the same pool. And that way we don't have any repeats. So we're going to be doing a snake style draft, which for those of you who aren't familiar, that means in this episode, Tanner's picking first. So he gets the 101, the first pick. And I will get pick number 2 and 3, and then Tanner will get, 4 and 5, and then I get, 6 and 7 after that. It goes down the list. So that's how we're going to start. So Tanner, with the 101, the first overall pick in the chest exercise draft, who are you taking?
All right, with my pick of the 2023 chest exercise draft, I will be taking the goated exercise, the bench press.
And it was a clear as day 101. All the draft experts knew this was going to be the first pick. This is the Andrew Luck. This is the John Elway of this draft class. Everybody knew coming out of college, the bench press was number 1. Tanner, what went into your pick here?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Everybody knows when you got chest day, you always start with bench. I mean, it's just everyone's trying to have big bench, and they also have a big chest, and they go hand in hand. And bench press is just very consistent and reliable. It's that player that is going to perform no matter what. And taking him 101 is kind of what you want in that pick. You don't want to take a risk. You want that guy that's reliable and he's going to get the job done. So that's why I went bench press 101.
Kind of a safe floor is what you're saying, but still has that ceiling. Obviously, your bench press is going to be the lift that you can lift the most weight with for all of these for chest. For most people, so that obviously has a lot of upside. But yeah, so that was the obvious 101, and I kind of wanted to go second so I could kind of double up on a different set of chest exercises. So with the second pick in the chest draft, I'm going to take incline bench press. So the brother or half brother, if you will, of the flat bench press. The incline bench has one particular advantage over the flat bench, and that is with the incline angle, you can definitely get some more chest activation. Your flat bench, it kind of turns into, it is great for your chest, but your triceps tend to take over a little bit towards the end. But with an incline, there's definitely more of a focus on your pecs specifically. So with that, that's why I went with the incline bench number 2 overall. Tanner, your thoughts?
Yep, I mean, incline's a great movement if you want to build the shelf chest like Arnold has, what he's known for. But the thing about it is it's not position versatile like the bench press is. The bench press covers the whole chest, where incline is just upper. So I appreciate the pick. I would have gone a different route, but let's see where you go with the 201.
All right. Well, I wasn't looking for any feedback there, Tanner. Trust me. So with the third pick, my second pick, I'm going to go a little off the beaten path. And that's just because this is one of my guys. That's right. I'm pounding the table for dips. Dips is my second pick. It is the second best overall chest movement, I would say behind bench in general. If you throw dips in on any chest day, my Lord, you will be lit up like a Christmas tree. You will be getting the sickest of pumps. You get a nice deep stretch at the bottom of the movement. And guess what? If you can't do dips, sorry about it. What do you want me to do for you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That would have been where I was gonna go to. I'm actually, you kind of sniped me there. Uh,
Sniped.
so I'm gonna go off the beaten path, kind of redirect where I'm going with this. And
Got
again,
him
we're trying
thinking
to
on his
build.
toes.
We're gonna build our workouts like we would do. So I'm gonna kind of take something similar to your first round pick, but something that is more, I guess it has more stabilizing muscles included into it, because it's not using a barbell. I'm gonna go with the incline dumbbell bench.
Mhm. That's a very safe pick as well. And I kind of like what you did there. You went with a flat bench. You're using a barbell, so that's going to be your heavy compound movement to start the day. Much the same with my incline bench with a barbell. And then you're going to get that angle with the dumbbell incline bench. So very smart pick, very good way to build out your chest workout. Honestly, if I had the first pick and then the fourth pick, that's exactly what I would have done.
Yep. And then so my third pick here, we're going to go. So we kind of have two pressing motions. So also the chest is, you want to stretch it to really build that muscle. So we're going to go with kind of a, this one, like bodybuilders love this one. This draft is kind of tough for Wertz and I, because we kind of do your typical like power lifter split, like the push pull legs. So we don't really have like a chest day in general. So we
Yeah.
usually at the
Usually we're
most are
doing
doing one
like
or
two or
two.
three. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
We're not doing five in one workout.
Yeah. So it's not a machine that I usually use, but it's kind of OG and honestly overpowered for what those big bodybuilders do, and that is going to be the pec deck.
Ooh, okay. That's interesting. The pec deck is definitely on my big board, but I had it a little lower than what I'm about to pick here. So I'm going to go against the conventional wisdom. And I like the pec deck, I really do. But instead, I am going to go with the cable crossover. So very similar to the pec deck, but I feel like you can get a wider range of motion. Obviously, you're not restricted to the path that the machine gives you with a pec deck. Nice thing about cables is that it's a lot more free form. So your body mechanics are much easier to maintain while you use that rather than a pec deck. And honestly, I can't believe that you let the pec deck slip to me this late in the draft. I think that's poor form on your part.
I just think the pec deck is just, it has its name for a reason. It's on deck where yours is a crossover. It's a second thought. I had a pretty low. It was on my big board, but it was pretty low. So we're going to attack the next my next pick.
It's my pick.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
my
We're doing
pick.
snake. I'm a silly goose.
That's how Tanner talks to himself, everybody.
I'm just a good
And
Minnesotan.
yeah, good old boy. Yep. So with my fourth pick, now we got to get back to the basics a little bit. We're getting a little wild out there. We're going to go with the flat dumbbell press, the flat dumbbell bench press. So kind of like how Tanner started with the flat barbell press, and then he went to the dumbbell incline press. I did the opposite. So I went with the incline barbell press, and I'm going with the flat dumbbell press. And I honestly, this is how I would normally structure a chest workout anyway. I would start with a heavy compound with a barbell and then move into a dumbbell movement. Like you said, get some of those stabilizing muscles involved there, get a nice stretch at the bottom that isn't possible with the barbell because obviously the bar is touching your chest. And then I kind of went out of order because I went with the crossover, but you get that nice stretch there as well. But that's kind of how I would finish out a chest workout normally. Went a little out of order, but that's how we roll.
Yep. That's a good pick. Me having the bench press already on the team, I feel like that would be redundant, same kind of player, and we're trying to draft a full team here. So, I am going to go with my fourth pick. We're going to get a little interesting here. So, my thought process is there's two things you're looking to do in this kind of workout. You're looking to build a big chest and you're looking to build a big bench. Now, a lot of guys get stuck on the pressing motion. They get stuck when they're trying to PR. So we're going to do a workout or a exercise that's going to help with that sticking point.
Oh,
We're gonna
baby. I
go
think
with
I know where he's
the
going
floor
with.
press.
That's right. I knew it. It's on my big board as well. And honestly, I'm kind of mad that I let you get it.
Yep. And so we're gonna wrap up my board here with a pick that I was considering with the 102. But you
Except
kept
he didn't have the 102, folks.
understand that's what was my route, because I knew you, if you had the 101 you would take bench press. So
Yes.
I was attacking my draft as well from the second position. So I am surprised you didn't do this one. It's very OG, and the great thing about this movement, it's anyone can do it. It's, you don't need weight, you don't need a barbell, you just use your own body weight, and that is the classic push-up.
I got a hot take here.
What's
I don't
that?
think the push-up's that good. It's actually the last thing on my big board. That's if we were doing an extra 2 rounds, I would have eventually got to push-ups, but that wouldn't have been on my big board at all.
I just think it's a very, you can do, it's versatile as far as anyone can do it. They're used a lot in fitness testing. They are you can put your knees down if you can't quite do a normal push-up. You can add different implements, you can put weight on your back. It's just very versatile to add and just wrap up my board here. I think it's a good pick at 5.
Well, agree to disagree. And honestly, okay, I'm not going to pick this. It's on my big board as well. But what I have above regular push-ups is like a push-up with a deep stretch. So if you use like a dumbbell, or if you use like those handles or whatever, so you're higher up off the ground. So when you go to the floor on a normal push-up, obviously your chest is going to touch the floor before you can get as deep as you would normally want to go. But if you use a set of dumbbells on the floor, preferably ones with flat sides, not the round ones, so you're not at risk of blowing out your shoulder or anything. But that way you're elevated a little bit more. There's more room to get deep at the bottom of that push-up and get a nice stretch on your chest. I would take that over a regular push-up any day. Also, for me, I feel like keeping my wrists neutral as opposed to having them flat on the ground, I feel like that's very stressful for my wrists. Whereas if I have something I can grab onto so I can keep my wrists neutral and stable, I feel way stronger that way and my wrists don't hurt. So you know what, you can have your damn push-up. That's fine.
And you can have your limp wrist
So
you got going on.
Okay. So with the last pick, what am I going to do here, folks? I don't know. I'm going to get a little wild. I think I'm going to go with the banded speed bench. So it's a variation of the 101. It's basically the bench presses like third cousin. It's the same movement, but all you're going to do is throw a band on it, and you're going to take the weight way down. You're probably going to go like 50% of your 1 rep max or what your working sets are, and you're going to go for speed. So you're usually going to do these on a non-heavy day, basically, and all you're trying to do is get those muscle fibers to fire. You're just trying to get those quick twitch muscle fibers, to fire, and that way you kind of learn to accelerate the bar through that elasticity, through that is the band on that one. So kind of surprised I got it with the last pick. It's all right. Tanner's had many oversights in this draft, and I am the beneficiary. So Tanner, why don't you go down the list of what your team is, and then I'll give mine.
Yep. So our team captain is the GOAT bench press. And then followed up, we got a nice, I don't know, they would play second base on this team. And that would be the incline dumbbell bench. And then the pec deck is kind of the old man, just has a leadership role just because of his like original gangster status, if you will. And then the floor press is going to be the guy that's going to pick everyone up when we get stuck in certain situations as a team. He's going to be able to pick us up because he can help us through our sticking points. And then the push-up, I think, is just extremely versatile, and it's nice because anyone can do it. That would be my draft.
And with my draft, the far superior workout, in my opinion, we're starting off with the incline bench, which most bodybuilders would prefer over a flat bench any day. So we got the incline bench. Then we follow it up with dips because only real men can dip. And then we've got the cable crossover, getting a nice stretch on our pecs there. Follow that up with a flat dumbbell bench press. And then we finish that up with a speed bench, a light speed bench at the end of it. Try to get those quick twitch muscle fibers to fire nailed it that time, didn't stutter once. And that's my team, and I feel pretty good about it. Do you have any honorable mentions, anything that you considered late? Are you surprised didn't get picked? Anything like that you want to mention here before we wrap up?
I would say the only thing I kind of got desperate towards round 5. I thought
Clearly, with that reach of a push-up, my lord.
no, I had dumbbell flies and chest machines, and I think a push-up is more superior than both those. I think dumbbell flies screw up your shoulders and are a waste of time. And let's be honest, chest machines, the only chest machine you should be doing is a pec deck. So, and arguably, if you consider cable flies a machine in a way, those are the only two that I would recommend. I think anything else is a waste of time.
The one that I considered taking as opposed to the cable crossover, I don't think you need to throw multiple versions of these pec decks, crossovers, flies. I don't think you need to throw more than one of these in your workout, so I didn't bother taking it. But the one that I was considering as opposed to the standard cable crossover was the incline cable flies. And so what you do is you take an incline bench and you put it in between the cable crossover, and you're basically doing the same thing as a dumbbell fly, but you're doing on an incline bench with a cable machine. And I find that to be a very good stretch on the pecs. I know I've said that a lot. I find that the muscle activation, the mind muscle connection is really strong with that one for me. So I definitely considered that, but it's hard to beat the cable crossover, man. It's just a classic.
And then you're not that guy that has a bench in between the cable crossover. So if someone needs to work in with you, they're not working around a bench and stuff. Like if it's a slow day at the gym and you have some time, like sure. But I think you would
you got to lug it across the gym too. That's the worst.
Because the bench is never anywhere near your cable machines. But the other ones that I considered was decline bench, close grip bench. Close grip is more of a tricep exercise. Decline, I think, is a waste of freaking time. You might as well just do dips. They're way better.
Here.
But that was kind of those are the other movements I had. But yeah, I'm happy how this kind of wrapped up. I thought for sure with the 101 it would kind of gone crazy, but
okay, guys. So drop a comment or a like. Let us know who picked the better team. Tanner will put both of the workouts up on the screen for you guys to look at, just a reference. But yeah, let us know who had the better draft. We're going to be doing more episodes kind of like this going forward in the future. We're going to try to hit a few different muscle groups. I think we've got back coming up next, so look forward to that. But why don't you take us on out of here, Tanner?
As always, no excuses.
No regrets. See you later. Bye.